What's up, hobby friends, and welcome back to Paint Bravely, the podcast where you can find a little bit of encouragement, discover new ways to make your hobby more fun, and most importantly, learn to paint bravely. All right, we got some hobby stuff to talk about. Some Drukhari, some Brickies, some I don't know, conventions, all sorts of different things. Before we get to that, though, Brent, you've been out of town recently. You went to a convention. How was that?
It was pretty decent. So I went to Mountain Mania out in the Willywags of Vermont. It's the Burke Mountain Resort, something like that. And it's just a ski resort kind of in their off season. And it's the ski lodge is hosting a convention for board gamers and RPGs. And there was a little hobby room, and in the hobby room was myself and John from Crow's Nest Craft, and we were running the paint and take and running a couple little painting classes. And all in all, I'd call it like a real sleepy event. It was a couple hundred people. Little ski resort in the mountains. It was kind of rainy.
That sounds kind of nice, though. What did you say? Willywags?
Willywags, out in the Willywags, out in the sticks, the boonies, the hinterlands.
I've never heard of that before. Yeah,
the outback.
I've heard all those other things. Never
the mountains. We were out in the mountains of Vermont. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds nice, though. Yeah. So you're just hanging out, painting, and
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to report about that event, although something interesting about this is that it was focused on board games and RPGs, whereas a lot of the conventions we go to started as a Warhammer tournament or something like that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And so this was definitely the side of the hobby that is not native to painting, and so the actual painting classes that we did were branded as more of a sip and paint, as the sort of thing that actually John from Crow's Nest Craft does this at local bars a fair bit. Just goes to a bar and runs an event of people come in who have never painted a miniature before, and he's like, okay, put this color here and this color here and this color here, and hey, you did it, look at that. Nice. And that was what we did at this convention was much more in the vein of that, of a lot of board gamers, RPG players, whatever, sit down, hey, you've never painted a mini before, drinking your beer or whatever, and here's a hellhound, and make his mouth pink. Cool.
Right.
Now try a dry brush. This is how you do a dry brush. And so it was much more stepwise, paint by number. We're going to use this color now. We're going to use this color now. Put this here, put this there. Try a wash, try a dry brush. And most of the people in that room were painting a mini for the first time, and they all turned out perfectly fine, not too bad. Mm-hmm. So, mission accomplished.
Very cool. Did you get anybody kind of at the end going like, I'm in, like I'm fully bought into this, I'm going to find some models, or was it kind of just like this was fun and they went back to their role-playing games?
It seemed more like this is fun, but okay. I think we could get them back for a similar event in the future.
Interesting. Okay.
Can't push them too hard the first time around.
Yeah, I do feel like with smaller conventions like that, it's like the people are there because it's like an annual thing that they've kind of, is a smaller community, figured like this is what we're going for, this is why we're taking the weekend off kind of thing. So yeah, I can imagine it'd be a little bit harder to push something new, but I mean it's really cool to get out there and have a presence, I guess, for lack of a better term. Getting people to put paint on a model. We're getting there with that crowd. We're getting there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Baby steps. Making progress.
Yeah, exactly.
So different event from what we just went to at Adepticon, which was super busy, super overwhelming, constantly something to do. Whereas this was such a sleepy little event that I should have signed up for more things. I did.
I agree. I actually should just sign up for stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten into the habit of some of these bigger conventions of signing up for nothing and just going with the flow, wandering around, seeing who I run into. And at a convention like this, I met some new people who I enjoyed hanging out with, but it wasn't the constantly running into friends and acquaintances and catching up. So this was an event. I was a little bit bored because I didn't sign up for enough stuff. I'll put it that way. But
makes sense.
Did sit in on a recording session of Fantasy Pants, just an RPG podcast group. I haven't looked them up yet, but Fantasy Pants, possibly .co. Yeah, I think they did say .co. They said fantasypants.com was too expensive, and they weren't going to spend a couple $1,000 on fantasypants.com, but fantasypants.co was in their price range, so
yeah,
check them out.
I don't know. We've talked about domains quite a few times. I feel like fantasypants.com is maybe worth a couple $1,000. I don't know.
That's a strong name. That's a strong name.
It is. It's good. Yeah. I like the name. It's very good.
They could be looking for investors, see if they could get that domain.
How would you do that as an investor? Like fantasy.goobertown.pants.com or something like that. That's my investment. You got to throw that in the middle,
Now, just at the start of every podcast, this URL brought to you by Goobertown Hobbies.
Actually, that's fair. It's a much better way to do it. Imagine, just brought to you by every single time.
Give them mandatory ad copy that's 3 pages long.
Every episode, without question, you must read this. You are now sponsored.
Do you want fantasypants.com or not? Yeah,
I guess they've been doing all right with .co, so
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun.
That's good. Yeah. Did you end up painting any models, or did you just mostly teaching to paint models?
I painted the teaching models as I was going, and hey, you know me, I painted a couple Goblin Hobbies goblins while I was there. Gotta stay busy.
All right.
Yeah. Had my Elmas and my Nuggets out, and got to work on that a little bit.
That's not bad at all. Yeah. Not bad at all.
Wow. Yep, cool to see the very prescribed version of a painting class of we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and all right, you did it. Yeah. Pretty straightforward, but John had some good paint schemes that looked good with a real simple touch, and
nice.
That's what I've been up to.
You have?
What did we have? I think he was mostly going around with scale 75, and he had
really?
He had wet palettes set up for everybody, and essentially he was doing, here is your droplet of bone, here is your droplet of red. Yeah. Because that can be a thing at paint and takes, or when you're working with new painters, of somebody just squirts half a bottle onto their plate. What are you doing?
Right. You're thinking the apple barrel. I gotta lay it on thick.
Yeah. You owe me a bottle. You owe me a bottle of paint. What did you just do?
Oh, these are only $1. Come on. It's not often that you see scale 75 just at a paint and take kind of situation, so it's pretty interesting. No,
there was a big box of apple barrel for the paint and take purposes. Yeah, apple barrel, and then there were some squeeze acrylics, and I brought some of my older collection of a couple of different brands just to have on hand for the paint and take, and yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's not bad.
So that's what I've been up to. A pretty good weekend. A lazy little weekend.
Yeah. I mean, it does sound pretty nice. Yeah.
And it was a nice drive out there. So it was out in the willywags of Vermont, which involved driving through the hinterlands of New Hampshire to get there. And so got to drive through the the White Mountains of New Hampshire to get where I was going, and real pretty drive. Not too bad.
Yeah, it sounds like the goofiest version of Lord of the Rings. Those words all put together just sound like a very goofy version of Lord of the Rings to me.
There was some sort of marathon that I kind of ran into on my way back that slowed me down a little bit. They had there's a whole bunch of switchbacks through the mountains there in New Hampshire, and they had half of the road just set aside for a marathon and just cones down the side of the road, and so it was very strange and slow getting through there on the way back. The police officer yelled at me, "Move your ass over," he said. Yeah. It's like, that's the first thing you say to me? Your traffic control here is terrible. I have no idea what this pattern is. Yeah.
They treat you differently up there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that guy's mean. I hope he has a bad day.
Yeah, I try to think to myself, no, surely not all cops are bastards. Surely not. And then they go and do something like that.
Exactly. Like what? Come on, man.
Come on,
man. I'm not gonna hit a person. It's fine.
Yeah. But sorry. He yelled at me while I was on the correct side of the road, and he was driving right at me on my side of the road. Is what he yelled at me.
Oh, so it's like because you're supposed to walk to incoming traffic.
I'm sorry. I didn't understand the traffic flow involved you being on the wrong side of the road and me being in the dirt. That's how it works. If there's a marathon that's completely unmarked with no signage. That's my bad, officer. I'll comply now. You just go on through. Wow. Move your ass over is what he said. That's the first thing, and like yelling, like angry. My goodness.
It makes you wonder how many people on the way up he's had to yell at. It's
probably a lot. Probably a lot.
Because somebody didn't do their job and put a sign up. That's not your fault.
Yeah, probably every car that he passed while he was driving on the wrong side of the road probably didn't know what the heck to do. And so he probably had to yell at everyone in line, and probably just got angrier and angrier and angrier as he was unable to communicate his job of controlling traffic. So
leading a bunch of marathoners up the wrong way. The road.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's a very pretty road through the mountains, which is why the marathon. I don't know if it was a full marathon or what. I came. It was probably kind of towards the end of it.
Just taking it too seriously.
I came towards the end of it where it was definitely the stragglers. It was definitely the strugglers that I was passing.
So I could see this then. It's the end of a long day, and he's like, there are 20 people left, and I have to get them to the finish line. Move out of the way. Just move. We're not stopping this train.
Yeah, you're starting to get the picture. It was about noon, and I think a lot of these road races will start at 7 sometimes, depending on what it is.
Early in the morning.
And unfortunately, it was a rainy day, so these people had been out there for 5 hours in the rain, and I was coming from behind of the path, I guess, and so I just very slow people obviously hobbling because they pulled something during the run, and I didn't really get a full picture. I'm not sure if the marathon was only for slow people or if I only saw the slow people. Who knows?
No, okay. So my wife Allie, as you know, Brent, she's done a couple of marathons, like the long ones where they're I think this one's 128 miles, and it's split up. You do legs of, it's like a relay marathon, right? So she has a certain amount of legs. Everybody else on the team is split up. And the thing with those is that there are teams that compete from all over the place. They come here to do it. I can't remember what it's called, but it's some big race up here in Reno, Tahoe. But all of the really good runners are finished at a decent time. They get back for lunch or something, right? Mm-hmm. All of the slow teams get back where there isn't a finish line anymore. there's nobody at the finish line anymore, and all the food trucks and things to do have been packed up and are leaving when they get back. And it sucks. It's kind of sad. So yeah, like, no, it ends early enough for most people. But if you're in the slow pack, you're at the back end or whatever the case is, sorry. Yeah, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was so confused because there was just driving down the road, and then there was just cones all the way down the middle of the road, and then there were just people hobbling on the other side of the road. Like, what's going on here? The police officer yelled at me, so... But it's pretty good convention. That was Mountain Mania and Burke Resort out in Vermont. So, all right.
Yeah.
Enough of me. How you doing, Casey?
I've been all right, man. I've been pretty good. So we kind of talked a little bit about, I was painting, I almost said Zerglings, but that's not it. Tyranids.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I painted up a whole like 2,000 point Tyranid army for Bricky. He was gonna go play big game with it and all this stuff, but he ended up coming to my house, and we ended up doing some hobbying, which was pretty cool. That's for something else that I can't really talk about. I don't know if he's talked about too much. He's on a hobby tour, as it were. He
posted an Instagram picture at your house. And an Instagram picture at Charlie's house. So
that's also true. That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know if he said like specifically what it's for though, so I don't want to just say and be that.
I listened to an episode of Adeptus Ridiculous where he mentioned that he was going to be away from home for like a month on the road filming things. But yeah. I don't know exactly what the project is either, but I'm aware that Bricky is coming to my house tomorrow, so we can't be up too late filming this podcast episode. I gotta get my beauty sleep so I can be ready for Bricky and Dan.
Yeah, Bricky came, and then Dan from Cinecore. They were here and hanging out, and we had a good time. We went to my local hobby shop. We ended up picking up some models to paint. We're kind of, just having a good time. So I ended up getting a box of mandrakes. Dan bought a box of scouts, like some Space Marine scout squad, one of those things for kill team. And then Bricky bought some other fancy models from the Eldar faction. I convinced him to buy some of those. So yeah, not bad overall. I think it's good. It's good having people over to paint, and we walked through kind of everything in the process, I guess. Like teaching people how to paint, or I taught him how to paint, rather.
Does he know how to paint?
He actually does know how to paint.
Okay.
Yeah, he painted up some stuff, and it looked pretty good. Like he did a great job. He did end up, like, I was showing him a little bit of stuff with the airbrush, and then like he had never used a natural hair brush before. So I bust that out a brand new like Winsor & Newton. He said there's no difference. Absolutely no. He couldn't tell.
Okay.
So that was interesting. But yeah, we hung out, and we did like a barbecue, which was cool. Got some fancy chicken and marinated it, and had a nice barbecue and hung out in the backyard. Had some drinks. Yeah, pretty good time overall.
That sounds pretty fun. Yeah. So I'm getting a similar visit tomorrow. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do with Bricky. I got to take him to my game store to get him to buy maybe some different models, and then teach him some more skills. But you already taught him how to airbrush.
Yeah. We'll see how much he's improved by the time he ends up at your house. We'll see how that goes.
Right. Maybe let me know what I need to quiz him on. Let me know what lessons he was supposed to take from.
Yeah, what is Zenithal? Oh, actually, you know what? I did specifically mention undershot shading. I did throw that in, so got him on that. Yeah, so he knows what that is. We did some of that. We did some like white armor and came in with that undershot shading, the reverse Zenithal highlight, and laid in some like sepia tone in the armor to give it some bone color, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think I got him on that. You could definitely reinforce that idea if you have to. I think that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I ended up painting. So I ended up getting mandrakes, Dark Eldar mandrakes, and I painted one of them up. I'm actually pretty happy with this guy. These new mandrake models are pretty good. Like, I have some of the older ones. I ended up finding this set of them, like, that were kind of half broken, like the old what do you call it? Fine cast, like the garbagey ones. Real messed up looking models. And like, I've always liked them. I've always liked the way that they look. They're kind of the dark shadow ninja looking things with the top knots and the ethereal whatevers, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, these new models are even better. And I'm pretty happy with that. What are you digging through? What are you doing?
I'm looking for some metal mandrakes, which are original and definitely better than whatever it is that you have. Because I'm aware that they changed the design of the Dark Eldar Mandrake from cool dudes with leather and cod pieces and nipple rings and normal weapons, like cool dudes. They got like blades and splinter pistols. And then they changed to plastic models, which have like lightning coming out of their hands, something like that.
No, it's like ethereal nightmare juice or something, like darkness. It's not. I don't know. It's some kind of energy coming from. I got the box. They got a bunch of cool names now too. They like Abyssal Mandrake. That's cool. Shadow Weaver. This is my favorite though. Mandrake Chooser of the Flesh. That's a good name.
Chooser of the Flesh. That is a good name.
He is a chooser. Yeah. So that's what I got. They're cool. But you say the old metal ones are better. You like those, or that they're just completely different?
They are completely different. They are completely
skin masks and cod pieces, and that's what you get.
Yep. This guy has leather. And he's got like some leather straps across his face, and he's got a big splinter pistol, and he's got a double-bladed fist weapon. He's got one knee pad. And codpiece. Yeah. Okay,
I'm remembering these models. I am remembering them now. I mean, I do like those. But
I painted up 10 or 15 of these. Is probably one of the last squads I did while I was still in high school. And one of the I'm getting pretty good at this painting thing, and then put it aside for 10 years. But I do like these. And then I get back to it, and I'm like, all right, I got my mandrakes all painted up. It's mandrakes are now just magic men on larger size bases. And what?
Oh, okay, whatever. What size are they on? 25s?
Yeah, it's a 25. Yeah.
Okay, they're on 28s now. Like it's not that big of a deal. It's not like they're on 32s or something. They're not extra giant,
No. Well, while I'm going through my cake tin here, my cake pan.
There you go.
I have some Dark Eldar Grotesques, and these definitely changed. These are 25 millimeter, basically zombie kind of guys. The old Grotesques, and now
the new ones are
on 40 millimeters, I think.
Yeah, they're big.
They're huge,
but they're they're different now. Like
they're like rat ogres. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. And I'm sure that's the exact purpose that they serve. But, man, you should definitely take those models and paint them up and put them on 40s and, like, figure out how tall the other ones, like the new ones are, and, like, build up that base to make them the same height. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just cool. Like, use the old ones.
Yeah, the old metal Dark Eldar are cool. They are cool.
They are. And
I don't need you talking up how proud you are of buying the plastic garbage that came out 15 years ago. This is
brand new. Yeah. This Kill Team box came out like last year.
Oh, that's a repack of some other stuff though.
No, it's not. It's not. No, these are because I remember they did a refresh on them like last year, because I've had the other ones for a long time, and they're really good models, and now they're not the garbage fine cast. They redid them in plastic, and the new kits are just so much nicer. But I get it. you like the codpiece nipple ring guys. I can't judge.
Sure do.
I mean, back in the day, when I got into Warhammer, like my friend's older brother that got us in, right? His friend, who we used to go play D&D at his house, his friend played Dark Eldar when they came out, and he had a big box of like the leftovers and stuff. And I took those, he gave them to me, but I took them and I put them on like as extra weapons onto my Eldar models. So most of my Eldar Guardians, like the very first models I ever painted, are all equipped with like axes and splinter pistols because I just had them and I thought it was awesome.
Okay, you're redeeming yourself.
I had no
here.
idea.
Yeah,
no, it was a very good time, and I still have all those models, and I actually still have all the bits too. I have like a little plastic bin that has just somehow managed to stay with me for 20 whatever years at this point, and I still have them, and I have a ton of heads. God, dude, I built a bunch of stuff out of them, trying to add to my Eldar army because I couldn't afford to buy more stuff, but I had all these bits, so I tried to kit bash them into things that made sense. That being said, these mandrakes are they're pretty sick. And
all right, I forgive you, and I'm glad that you're having fun with your mandrakes.
Honestly, I'm kind of like I should probably be buying these models, just in general, like all the Dark Eldar stuff. I wasn't a huge fan of like the I don't know, the more normal stuff like the Cabalite Warriors and whatnot. Like that's never been my thing. Like, I think they're a little too spiky. I did like Eldar. That's what I started with, right? Much smoother, pointy head, still smooth, very smooth.
Very smooth.
But the like weird stuff from the Dark Eldar.
Oh yeah,
I like that.
I've got a whole cake tin of witches here. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like the witches, the homunculi, and the.
I got some homunculi. Yeah. Uriel Rakarth. Yeah, I got
right.
That guy.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Some of our listeners know what we're talking about. Most are bored. Yes.
That is not true.
That is very true.
So I was talking to Cynicor Dan, right, as he was here, and we were talking about the podcast a little bit, and I was saying, we try and put some effort, just enough effort into this podcast to keep it going. But the idea, the like driving idea behind this is that we're all just hanging out. Hopefully, you're doing something with your time. I really
hope so.
You are painting models. You are doing something productive. And Dan was like, I don't do anything. I just listen to it. I said, why would you do that, Dan?
What did he say?
It's not our fault. He said, I just live. That's what he does. That's what he does. He listens to it. I'm like, you should be painting. He's like, I would be distracted. Basically, he's like, I would be distracted. I would ruin something. I would not paint it properly, whatever. But,
There's a mandrake mixed in with my witches. Ooh,
look what you did.
Oh yeah, this one has a skin mask and a spicy monocle. Yeah. He's got a big blade fist. He's got a lot of leather. He's got a cod piece.
Can you send
neither
me that
nipple is pierced. Neither nipple
really?
is pierced. Yeah, that's surprise ending.
That's very surprising, honestly. I mean, the Dark Eldar just seem like you take Eldar and you put them in BDSM wear, and you're like, this is my army. This is where I'm at. So this is surprising.
Right now, I'm digging through the collection of stuff that I got off of eBay when I first got back into the hobby. Because back in high school years, like I said, one of the last things I painted was some mandrakes. Got back into the hobby 10 years later, got onto eBay, and old Dark Eldar models were very cheap at the time, and I bought out multiple people's collections, learned how to strip them down and restore them, and so I have many of these metal Dark Eldar, and I have not spent enough time with them. Here's a Sybarite, a metal Sybarite. Ooh.
Yeah, what have you
Fantastic
been
model.
doing with your time? If you have multiple collections worth, then you have like a full set of metal, like a full 2,000 points of metal.
Easy.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I feel a little bit bummed on these ones because I put the magnets too close to the edge of the base rims, and so that bums me out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do the normal thing if I can't decide what color to make them, so half of them have teal armor, half of them have blue armor, and also I want to color code the squads, and then it's like, well, is it a squad of 5 or a squad of 10 or a squad of 20? It depends on the codex. I don't know. And then
that's true. That's fair. Yeah.
Excuses, but I got some. I got some
a lot
cool
of
metal models.
Yeah. I think that, and maybe you just need some help with this, but picking out however many squads that create something that looks cool on the table, that's all metal, and just painting it all the same color. Just paint the army, make it the cohesive army that it needs to be. You know, maybe their hair plumes are different colors. You know what I'm saying? Not the entire armor set. You know, little things. Maybe their nipple rings.
Stamp a little symbol on their base so you know which squad they're in.
Yeah. I mean, we do make things to differentiate these squads. Like we can do that. We can do that. You can put a blood red tattoo on their weird skin or their cod pieces.
We
got that.
Another Sybarite. Look at that. This one has a power
whip. You have like 3 of those. So you even have like multiples just in case you want to, game the game, not magnetize. You're like, no, I got 3. I got 3 separate
ones. I have so many of these. Dude. Yeah. Don't you worry about me and my witches and my mandrakes.
I'm not. That's good. I mean, I am definitely feeling the mandrakes right now, and I think I'm gonna go and look for some of these things. I definitely want to go down the skin mask route. I don't know if that's a thing, any good or worth doing.
I don't think that
sure looks good.
Actually equipment. Yeah, but it just looks cool.
It just looks good. I don't care what it is. It just looks good. I want the weird stuff. Like they look weird.
Oh,
I like that.
They do.
Yeah. No, none of the spikes though. I don't care about the spikes.
Yeah, look at this. I have a metal Kabalite warrior with splinter cannon. Can you believe that? You got there were so many warriors with splinter cannons on that plastic sprue, and yet they still made a metal version of this model. And I got it. I got it.
You got it. And you haven't done a thing with it. What are you doing? What are you doing over there?
All right, do we have any other topics other than looking through old Dark Eldar models? That's a good topic.
I'm sure we
That's
do.
A real good
I think
topic.
it's good. I like it. I just wanted to say that mandrakes are good, and you wanted to tell me they weren't, so that's fine.
That ain't a mandrake. This is a mandrake.
Whatever. Mine walks through the shadows and stabs stuff, and he's got no shoes on and such. Whatever.
Mine are made of metal.
That's fair. Okay, you win. They don't make these in metal.
I don't know how much you're on Instagram or whatever, but have you seen that parrot Apollo who his owners
the metal one that
to
reads?
Identify?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's metal.
Yes,
I've heard about this.
Box. Yeah.
What's even better is I haven't actually seen the video. I've just heard about this on other things. So I've heard people mimicking this voice. So it's like I have somebody else's voice as that parrot right now.
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
Apollo, what is this? And then he clicks his beak against it, and he goes metal.
It's so good, dude. So good. Oh, that does remind me. One of the big conversations that we had over the couple of days that Dan and Bricky were here was in a fight, who would win, 100 men or a full-grown gorilla?
Yeah, you don't date the podcast so severely.
I kind of have to.
Okay, that's everybody's talking about it. We have to talk about it. Okay, what's your take?
I have not heard about this until a couple days ago. Is this something that people are talking about?
It's just been big on the internet for about a week. Yeah, who would win in a fight?
Idea.
100 men or one gorilla?
Had no idea.
Yeah.
Literally had no idea. It's the first I'm hearing of it. So I don't know. It was an on and off thing for many hours.
Are the men fanatical? Are they willing to achieve an objective?
They're normal. It's a gorilla.
Yeah, but if you are able to convince the men that it is worth it to attack a gorilla if they are able to take out the gorilla's left eye, and then you convince another man that it's worth it if they are able to take out the gorilla's right eye, understanding that they are not surviving the encounter.
Yeah, I guess.
Are there morale rolls? Are we doing
no?
Morale?
This is like a realistic expectation of, like, say there is a gorilla and there are 100 people and you now need to go.
And do they take a break test after 20 of them get mauled by the gorilla?
Of course not. I mean, they're just 100 people bum rushing a gorilla.
Okay, and we're assuming fanatical devotion to the cause of bringing this beast down.
I'm sure there's a reason. It killed I don't know.
Yeah.
Something. It did a thing.
I think if you're able to convince the first ones to go for the eyes or a sack tap, and I think there are weak points on a gorilla that if you could get in a few lucky blows, that the ones coming in after will have a better chance.
I don't know. I was very much on the side of the gorilla. Like, it's a gorilla, much like a Wookiee, can tear your arms off.
Yeah, it takes it out of you, though.
Maybe. It can lift 4,000 pounds.
Yeah.
It just lift a couple cars. It's no big deal.
I don't know if they get tired after 10 people or after 100 people. I don't know what the endurance is. They just sit around most of the day. I assume the endurance isn't great.
It's possible.
Especially...
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
If some of those men are taking out the eyes and taking out the genitals, like I think the gorilla eventually goes down. But
okay.
But again, that's just a matter of the fanaticism of your 100 men.
It's true. Well, if it were normal men, even if they decided that they were fanatics and they needed
normal
to go
men,
about
99
this.
of them run away after the first one.
The
first one goes in and 99 run away is what happens.
Yeah. As soon as you see your friend's head get torn off, I think you're done.
Yeah. Seeing the ease with which the gorilla plays with the first man, I think, causes 99 men to run away. But
that's fair. I'm still on the gorilla side. I think it makes sense.
Gorilla has some big advantages in this situation.
Yeah.
I
think it does. That's what I'm saying. I think it does. Regardless of eye poking or...
this homunculus has a gun.
Don't they all? I guess not.
No, they've got different things. They've got different things.
They got like that spindly tallness with the weird like finger gun.
They got that.
Thingy,
They definitely have that.
So whatever that is.
Whatever that is.
I don't know what they were doing with those models back in the day. I mean, I like most of them.
What else we got?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I feel like I didn't write anything down. I should have.
Okay. Well,
I did.
I think it's our duty to report some bad news here. Polygon, the website and kind of gaming news outlet Polygon, was acquired by a bad business that then immediately gutted Polygon. And so there's not a ton of like actual real game journalism out there, and there is one fewer real platform now. You and I had so for real, heartfelt condolences for anyone who's looking for work now because of that. I know our buddy Charlie Hall, who just did a little feature on Goblin Hobbies, is now moving on to the next thing because of that, and it's a bummer. there are tons of idiots like us with YouTube channels and tons of idiots like us with, all the other social media, but actual kind of traditional style media focused on games, there is not much of it left, and that sucks. That sucks. So
it does, yeah, because you have to imagine that what it's being replaced by, at least the company that bought it, is just going to churn out the same AI garbage that it has been. So yeah, it sucks.
So my understanding that in going forward in the future, if Polygon.com it's probably going to get updated every 10 minutes with just slop, like absolute sweatshop style, either sweatshop style or AI style content.
It's got to be. It's sweatshop people running AI. That's what it is. It's doubling up on that.
Yeah, so that's not great.
Yeah.
No, but I was trying to think of even what's left for game journalism other than just us idiots with YouTube channels. I came up with Gaming Trend. The CBC actually has Jonathan Orr over there, does gaming reporting, like the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, whatever CBC is. There's
sounds right.
There is a new organization in the last couple of years, Rascal News, which is doing a pretty good job. But a couple of years ago, like Gizmodo got gutted. In the last week, Polygon got gutted. Then that is brutal. Wow.
It sucks, man. It's crazy to think like back in kind of the earlier days of the internet. Like a lot of these places were the places like that I would like to go to, and at one point in time, I was seriously considering becoming some kind of a game journalist. Like because of sites like that, right? Because of people who were trying to share their actual opinions and like on things that maybe you wouldn't have seen, like some game that you hadn't heard of before, or whatever the case is. So it's just a shame that like it's just going away. It's just not going to be a thing anymore. At some point, it's just going to be like the internet is becoming more full of just garbage, fake stuff that isn't going to make any sense in a couple of years and just be this advertising thing. I don't know. I'm not sure what value they think they're bringing.
Oh no, they're making money. They're making money off the advertising thing.
No,
they're not. They're not bringing the value.
No, they're definitely not. No, but I mean, people make the assumption that there are people there that are doing something, and I don't know that they are bringing those opinions, but they're not. So it's hard to know the difference. Like, how are they still making money, I guess, if it's like, well, you just gutted this company and fired half or more, like most of their writing staff. I think they only kept a couple people kind of thing.
Yeah. If they can get the same ad revenue for AI slop content articles, then I guess they do make money if they fire everybody. But that's the company that has Game Rant and Screen Rant, and now Polygon is responsible for the enshittification of the internet. So I guess if any of those pop up on recommended feeds, just click do not recommend in the future. Just we can do what we can not to feed into that. I did just buy a yearly subscription to Rascal News just to give a little bit of support to the actual journalists there actually covering games. So that is something that you could do, but other than that, just pour one out for Polygon. I guess that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
It is.
Yeah.
I gotta cover that up with some good news. You got any good news, Casey?
I'm trying to like now think of like how do we naturally segue into like we're gonna laugh again. It's fine.
Well,
I guess
have
unnaturally.
I have some mediocre news, perhaps unsettling. Okay. This news could go either way. But
okay.
really more of a confession.
Not helpful.
Last week, after 19 years, I have returned to Molten Core MC in the World of Warcraft.
Yes. Okay. Unlike vanilla?
Yeah, Warcraft Classic. Yep.
Whatever.
I think I told our listeners that a few months ago, me and some local friends had gotten together and we'd run 5-person dungeons all the way up to maximum level in that game, and it was a couple of months where we were playing maybe every other night for a reasonable amount of time, like 2 hours in the evening, hanging out with real people, leveling up. It was great. And then I went to Gamma, and when I came back from that convention, they had just all stopped playing. And it was like, okay, that's fine. That's a natural out. Like we did it. Yeah. We experienced the World of Warcraft. We did Horde this time.
Again.
It's the most healthy experience of playing that MMO I have ever had. Like
that makes sense.
Very adult and responsible and reasonable. And then a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that one of my friends keeps popping up online as like, Mike's playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
What's going on there? And then I get a message from him like, hey, I've been raiding. Do you wanna heal the raid? So for those of you who don't know, there's a jump. There's these 5-person dungeon groups they're very easy to do with a group of friends. And then it jumps up to, you need to get 40 people together and organized to go do one of these mega dungeons. And, you get like a raid leader. They're called raids. And there's someone on a Discord call, on a 40-person Discord call, like giving instructions on what these 40 people need to do. And so I thought all of my friends had stopped playing, and like, fine, okay, it's a natural out. All things must come to an end. Well, my buddy Mike's apparently been raiding, and he's like, all right, get in this guild. Get in this guild. We're going. Yeah. And so last week, for the first time, I went back in this video game, and my memory of this dungeon is it takes 6 hours, and it's very methodical, and the 40 people go along. After 20 years, people have figured it out, and that is not how things go anymore.
That's not okay.
This was it was 2 hours. The whole thing was less than 2 hours. It was go here, go here, go here, go here, go here, go here, go here. Don't let this person die. Stand here. Do not stand there. And it was the most stressful 2 hours I've had in a while. And I was like, oh my, I can't.
And you're healing.
If I had no memory of this place, like if I had no prior knowledge to base this on, like my mind would have exploded. But so good news, bad news. I have returned to the Molten Core. And
yes. Yeah. Are you going to continue to return, or have you gotten the things you were looking for?
Oh my goodness, no. No, I have not. I have not gotten the things I'm looking for. We'll see if I return.
Sure. Interesting. That's not bad, man.
The good news is it only takes 2 hours, but it's
an intense 2 hours.
There are levels to this addiction, There's levels to this addiction, and that's just a little taste. That's the first little taste there.
Depends on how hard you want to go.
Yeah. If I go missing, you know where I am. Like that's.
I mean, yeah.
You don't hear from me for a while. I stop returning your calls, Casey. Yeah, it's because.
Yeah.
I can't return your calls because if I move my hand away from the mouse, someone will die. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, exactly. If you're healing, like you're in it. I'll have to grind something in classic up to 60. Get in this guild some secret backdoor way and like have to talk you off the ledge, before heading back in.
I get a whisper in game. Hey Brent, it's Casey. Are you okay? Yeah.
Are you okay? You need to come back, dude. We got things to do. You haven't made a video in 85 days.
I know.
Yeah. God, yeah, I'm still on the longest streak I've ever gone on since starting
Well, you can make a video about your mandrakes, man. You make a video about your mandrakes.
I mean, Bricky's making a video about my mandrakes. Like, I can't do that. I mean,
You know that Bricky is traveling and will not be able to edit a video about mandrakes for weeks. So you...
No, I know.
Crank that out.
I could get the jump on that.
Beat him to it.
Just put that out. Like, thanks for coming. I put this video out. Yeah. No, I'm definitely not going to do that. I mean, I am going to put one out about the army that I did paint for him. Like, that is a thing. Gotta do that. That's all done. I just haven't edited anything. And then that's what I've been doing. I forgot. I can't believe I forgot. I've been working on some old metal Sisters of Battle. That's what I've been doing. As he reaches down beside him to pick up his battle sisters. No? You lost them?
Give me a second.
Them. Anyways, I was rummaging through my drawers, yeah, different things I have in my office, and I found this old cigar box that I've had, this black cigar box, and I had forgotten what I had put in there. It's been kind of just closed up and set in another box for a couple of years now, I think. I remember doing something on a video one time with it, and I put stuff in it, and I honestly couldn't forget. So I was going through everything, I pulled it out, and I opened it up, and it was just a cigar box filled with Sisters of Battle. And I got real happy, because I bought a whole bunch of I forget what they're called. The ones with just like the bolters or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Sisters of Battle.
Oh, yeah, like the basic Sisters of Battle ones, but they're called something. But they were all painted pretty gnarly, old metal models, some thick paint, that kind of thing. They're all on slot bases, and those were kind of jacked up, and one of them wasn't even on. It was like weirdly glued. So I don't know. I just went for it. I just started going for it. I got them all cleaned up. I printed out these nice base toppers of these like cathedral ruins kind of thing that look really cool, and I'm planning on making them a whole thing, and I've been working on that video. So I don't know. I can't believe I forgot that I was totally I spent like 5 or 6 days on these already, and they're coming together. I actually just need to prime them and put paint on them now. That's where I'm at.
That's awesome. What color scheme did you go with?
Well, I haven't started painting them yet, but I'm probably gonna go with the classic, black and red.
Okay.
For some of the sisters I've done in the past, I've gone with this like rose gold color that I like. I've done some of the female Stormcast that way too, and I like the way that looks with some different color combinations. But these were painted kind of classic, and I kind of want to just redo that since I've never actually done that exact color scheme on them. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to kind of see that nice before and after of these older models, because they still look really good. Like, the sculpts are still very good. They're crisp for metal, especially. And like the plastic versions are not that different, and I like that. Yeah, but you just pulled out a giant box of them. You just happen to have a bunch of these.
This is a small box of them, Casey.
It's a small box. It's not Dark Eldar sized.
No, I actually do have a lot of the older style Sisters of Battle right around the time I started the channel, I was playing with a lot of different color schemes, and this box has a lot of those test models in it.
Nice,
and,
yeah.
I like my bright, fun colors, but that's an army that really does kind of lend itself to red, black, gold, white. There's not, it's not as accepting as the pink and yellow and teal and crap that I have in this box. So.
I do think that it just doesn't quite look as good.
Yeah, I was trying a lot of stuff to make my original color scheme, but because of that strong thematic link to like the Catholic Church and whatnot, that there really are some color schemes that look appropriate and some that really don't. So the black, white, and gold. Although I do like the like blood red armor. Yeah.
I do like that look.
I'm reminding myself of the test models I'd done here, and it looks like I'd settled on red armor, and then I couldn't decide on the cloth color. But
I don't even know what because it's like the Order of the Bloody Rose or some such. Yeah, I know how it is.
Sure.
I don't remember what the other colors in that. It's probably black. I don't know. Might be white.
Yeah, a black cape works. Oh, I got a white one here. This is definitely before I knew how to paint white, but that could work. That could work.
A white would be
play
nice.
Around with that a little bit.
That's kind of like a Dire Avengers, red armor, white hair plumes and such. That's not bad. That's a good look. Speaking of Eldar, too.
We'll look into this.
I got some packages in the mail today.
Ooh.
I had purchased a bunch of like gnarly looking models off of eBay because I'm like, I need some just random stuff that's like inexpensive single models that just are nice models. And I found a couple things. I actually found another of the Emperor's Champions, the Black Templar one that I painted for Golden Demon. Found another one for like really good deal. I was just thinking like I might paint another one of those and talk about that because I never actually made any kind of follow-up video after I like painted here's this thing I painted for Golden Demon, and then like literally never talked about it again. So I thought maybe I'll paint another one and like sell it or something, and I don't know, something, but it was a good price. And then I picked up a couple more things. Yeah. I have to. It was too good, even though I have like several of those. It's fine.
I understand.
It's fine.
I understand. No judgment here. Yeah.
No. But I picked up this, like, it's an Eldar Striking Scorpion, like one of the older, like, Juan Diaz ones, the real nice looking ones. Yeah, but it was sent to me in a teeny tiny Tupperware. It's very teeny tiny. See?
Was that inside a larger box?
No, it was in a padded mailer, and the actual Tupperware is just completely smashed. Like, there's just plastic all over the place. So it did absolutely nothing. Luckily, it is a metal model, so it's fine.
Yep.
But, like, I don't know why somebody would go through the trouble to put this in a Tupperware, because
a wrap of bubble wrap would probably have done just as well.
It would have been fine. Yeah, the Tupperware is, like, hard plastic, and it got smashed pretty bad. But I'm pretty happy with it. It's the nice, like, large, big old chainsword guy. He's got the nice pose. Kind of makes me want to actually do some other stuff. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this because the old Eldar, man, like especially these ones. I think it's 3rd edition maybe was the Juan Diaz stuff.
In there, at least for these.
Maybe. Yeah. It's either 2nd or 3rd, whatever. I think it's 3rd. I don't know. But yeah, it looks real good. Real good.
Love
These old
to hear
metal models just, I don't know. They look good. So yeah, I got that. I'll be working on that here pretty soon. I don't know. I got some stuff in the works. But still, like I said, I haven't put out a video in a minute. I'm getting there. I'm real excited.
The teal is not terrible. Teal is not terrible on these old Sisters of Battle. I think there might be a way. Think on this.
Yeah, maybe like if you have darker hair or something, darker skin maybe to offset the brightness.
You can do a dark teal. You can do a dark teal.
Yeah, that's true. You're inky by darkness, Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's real dark, but yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, you start there. Actually painted some of my mandrakes with some of that, the P3, like, inky by darkness look-alike color. And that's pretty nice. It's not bad. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what they called it.
I don't even know.
Black? No. Yeah, coal black. That's what it was. It was coal black.
Is it actually coal black? No.
So it was something close like that. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I can't see it from here. It's like There's something in the way of the actual name of the bottle. I can see the bottle, but I can't see the name of it. I don't know. It's got some weird name, but it's basically like a slightly different version of Inky by Darkness. But I don't know. Just because we're on the topic of P3, because I brought it up, of course. I've been using them a lot more, and I gotta say, like, I like them, like, quite a bit actually.
Yeah, they're a little more satin shiny than my personal preference, but yeah, that's some of the stuff that I brought with me to the convention this weekend.
Yeah. I don't know. They like I tend to go for kind of the same thing, like a way more matte finish. But the way that I end up getting, like, especially skin, right? Because that's what I use this on, right? It's kind of got that little bit of satin finish. It's not necessarily matte skin, because that doesn't make sense. I don't know. It works really well. And, like, blending that in on, like, muscles and stuff is a smoother application. Like, it just feels a little bit better than more matte paints. So I don't know. I'm just finding good uses for it, and it's feeling pretty good. And I mean, I only have like 19 colors or whatever, they sent out, but yeah, it's growing on me. Kind of wish I had some more. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man, this teal, I'm telling you. All right, that's
yeah.
But plus, also, have you considered these snotlings that are in the same cake pan? A lot of snotlings in this cake pan.
For reasons? Yeah, of course, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I can't run with snotlings, You get your,
this guy's going to throw a gourd at somebody, I tell you what.
That's great. So good.
I got to put away my cake pans. I got to focus here.
Yeah, what are you doing? You got a 40-man raid coming up. You got to focus.
Yeah. Don't want... Man, the name of my character is funny, but I can't say it online because then people will figure out what server I'm on and spam me.
That's not true. They will not.
They will. You know they will. Okay. It's
not like I would be encouraging it at all. I would be one of them, so, I was just hoping you were going to throw that out there for everybody, have some fun.
Nope. Digital protection is very important, and I can't say the name of my troll priest.
That's really funny, though. It's like an extra layer of protection of Oh, man. I was talking to Allie about World of Warcraft the other day for I don't know why. But she's like, I've never played that game. I would never play that game. And I'm like, you're joking, right? Because you have played that game and you do have a character. That's why. Because we were talking about gamer tags, right? Like names of characters, like that you've had for a long time. Like I have had the name Foxblubber since I was, I think, 8 years old when AOL came out. Foxblubber at AOL.com. And I've had that, and it's been with me, and it's continued with me to this day. That is the name that I go by on the internet.
It's also your Wi-Fi password.
It's not.
What?
It's absolutely not my Wi-Fi. What are you talking about? Not my Wi-Fi password. Some of those letters are in my Wi-Fi password, not all of them. Anyways... and she was like, because my son Fox wanted to, that's not actually related at all, but it's a thing. My son Fox wanted to pick his own, and he's 8 years old, and I was like, okay,
it's an important decision. It is time.
It's an important decision.
Time.
It is time.
Think carefully,
I was
son.
his age.
Yeah.
We sat and thought, and he wanted to do something in the like Fox name realm because that's what mine was. So he wanted to kind of be like mine, and then his name is Fox, which again, not related to the fact that my gamer name is Foxblubber at all. Okay, just happens to be a coincidence. But he ended up going with I think Foxtholomew. Yeah, which was pretty good, and it's not
strong.
Taken like anyway.
It's
a good one. It feels good. Yeah. So that's his. And then my wife, of course, is like, well, I've never had one. I have no idea. And I was like, no. But when we played World of Warcraft for that like couple of months, like early on when we were dating, right? Like playing World of Warcraft, like Burning Crusade in college. And I was like, I built a PC and put it in her bedroom at like her house. And I'm like, you know, because when we can play some World of Warcraft, I got my laptop. She didn't really care at all, of course. But her character name, she had I think it was like an elf hunter or whatever. Yeah, something like that. But his name was Top Ramen, TAWP Ramen. And that was not taken. And she had that for a while. And she forgot.
That's good.
It's a good name. But if you don't want to share yours, that's fine. I get it. Internet safety, you know.
Look, I've said that I'm a troll priest, and there's only a couple of servers going for this WoW Anniversary Edition, and
there's a lot of troll priests out there.
Yeah.
Just saying. It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's fine. That's fine.
For the Horde, you need a healer, you get in a troll priest. Like,
nope,
what are you going to do?
No. I don't want messages from Paint Bravely podcast listeners while I'm in a raid. You know, I gotta focus in.
Look, you can cut off.
I don't need to get a message just like, "Hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but is this Brent from Paint Bravely podcast?" And like, not now, nerd, not now. Go away.
Trying to keep them alive. Why are you interrupting me? All right, that's fine. Just
it's a funny name, though. This is a funny name. So once I retire for good, I'll say it. But
yeah,
for now, internet security is of prime importance.
Once you retire for good, I don't know. Still, I've been on the edge for a while, thinking about signing up, just because. Man.
Okay, I can tell you, but you can't tell our listeners.
Well, no, obviously, I would respect your privacy.
Yeah.
It's probably.
Sorry, I told everyone your Wi-Fi password. Like, I'm sorry.
You didn't. You didn't. I promise you didn't. It's okay. The letter F is in my Wi-Fi password. That's as close as you got. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, you got anything else? Have you been doing anything else? I'm going to go paint some mandrakes. He's gathering another.
We'll talk about this later, but one-page rules.
Oh yeah,
they're heading into the real world. One-page rules.
The
real world. Yeah. So I've got the early copy of some of their PVC miniatures here. So they've got PVC, like the board game material, and they're taking actually some of the same Saurians that I painted 3D prints of a couple of years ago. They're taking those models, making them into board game plastic, and it's actually really good. As far as board game plastic goes, they're like really
on the upper
crisp.
end of those. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know.
So I think they're gonna do a crowdfunding campaign with this eventually for the purpose of, raising the funds to get this starter army box into retail eventually. So that'd just be really cool to see a local game store that has Grimdark Future from One Page Rules starter set on the shelves. Yeah.
I mean, seeing OPR on a shelf anywhere close to any other war game would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and they deserve to be there. They've put in the work over the last 5 years or whatever, and they've gotten a real audience of folks going. And so this is I've known about this for a few months, but they've had this project brewing of taking what they're not Necron Army and they're not Space Lizardmen Army, and getting those made up in plastic and selling them in a starter box that has rules and dice and a little bit of terrain and all that stuff in there. So I'll have more to say about that later, but this is one little teaser for you. Broken Truth. One page starter set.
Maybe we can get into that next time we talk, because I think that's definitely worth talking about.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a big deal, I think.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. We're a little late in this episode to be talking all about one-page rules on the store shelves. We wasted too much time with our internet passwords here.
Look, that's fine. I'm just trying to out you. Just trying to get people. Fine, it's fine.
I've been away for a couple of these days. I've been away for a couple of days, and these cats, man.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well,
all right. Well, anyways, thank you again for joining us on another episode of Paint Bravely. If you enjoyed this podcast, please help us out by leaving us a review on iTunes, subscribing to the YouTube channel, and sharing this message with your hobby friends. And as always, we appreciate each and every one of you for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time.